Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles, and today's video is going to be all about getting and keeping clients. We're going to be talking about repeat clients. I got a question a little while ago, and I also got some recent questions all along the same lines of how do you retain customers? How can I keep the customers that already purchased coming back? A lot of people struggle with retaining their customers and client base. It's one thing to always have new customers, which, you know, there's a two-part, I guess you can say, fold when you're looking at business. You want to be sure to constantly attract new people. You want new business, but you also don't want to be so focused in obtaining new business that you overlook your existing customers and clients. I heard a phrase, and I really like the phrase, and it can be used in this, scenario too. But the phrase I heard was tripping over dollars to pick up pennies. And sometimes that's what we do in business unconsciously. We're not even thinking about all of the things that we're doing and if they really align with our overall goal. And I want to pause here. If you can hear snoring, my daughter is sleeping. She does snore. So if you hear that, that's what's going on. But it's very important, like I've been saying in a lot of videos, to make sure we're very intentional about what we're doing and that we're not moving so fast where we're actually moving, we're busy, but we're not being productive and we're not seeing the growth in our business that we want to see. So I'm going to be looking in front of me because I have my notes here on my tablet, and I actually have my phone that I'm recording on propped up on this tablet too. So we're going to see how well this works. But I'm going to be going over some tips that have helped me in the past and also helped me in the current present on how to retain customers. When you are able to retain customers, I'm not going to say you don't need to market, but you don't have to market as hard as you used to. Now, before anyone goes in the comments or says, hey, that's the last thing you want to think, don't get comfortable. I'm all for not getting comfortable, but I'm also for knowing the place you are in your business. And not every person is in the same place in business. And so, but depending on the place that you're at and depending on where you want to go, your marketing strategies, your budget plans, everything should be aligned to where your business is going. And so because I do have a good bulk of repeat clients, I don't have to market in the same way that I marketed before. Do I still market? Yes. And we're going to touch on that in this video, but it's not at all the same amount of, I don't want to say not the same amount of effort, but I'll go into this video and hopefully if it doesn't make sense, it'll make sense later. Of course, you want to, again, attract new clients and customers, but you don't want to be so hungry for new people that you lose the ones that can continuously support. I make more money, I would say, off of my repeat purchases because people that know me, that trust my products, I can count like when they're going to order. Versus if I get a new client, they may order now or they may not order again. I don't know. But there are some clients that have been ordering with me since my salon days, like 5 years ago. They've been solid, loyal supporters for the last 5 years. I've had some customers that have supported me starting last year and they've ordered every few months. And so don't overlook, again, your customers that are going to potentially be the repeat customers. Now, I want everyone to become a repeat client, right? We want everyone to continuously purchase. And so in order to do that, there are some tips that have helped me that I'm going to share. So before I get into this video, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into it. So the first point that I want to go over, the first tip, is incentivize existing clients and clients who are a part of your network or community. So there's plenty of ways that you can incentivize people for supporting your business and encourage them to come back. So one way that you can do that is by offering certain discounts or certain gifts or adding certain freebies in their orders. So I know, for example, with me, with some of the clients that repeatedly purchase, I will throw in like a free bonnet. I will throw in an extra length upgrade. I did that a lot in the beginning when I first started selling my bundles. And for those of you wondering, what is she talking about when I refer to bundles, I am talking about hair. I do have a hair extension business by the name of badchickhair.com. If you're interested in learning more about what I offer, my websites are down below. But I used to do like different length upgrades, and then I stopped doing that because not everyone appreciated the length upgrade, and I understand why. Some people actually order the lengths that they want. They have specific layers that they're wanting to achieve with their bundles, and they don't want an extra length. They want exactly what they ordered. So I learned that the hard way. I thought I was doing something that would be on the, incentivizing, pole, but ultimately it was an incentive for some people. Some people didn't like it. So that's when I learned that figuring out what your client actually wants, what they like, building that relationship is really how you ultimately maintain that connection and how you get repeat clients, because what you think may be what someone wants really may not be. So it's important to go back to the basics when you're looking at retaining customers and clients, as far as asking those open-ended questions, figuring out exactly what they want, and then you being able to put in your expertise and let them know based on what they're wanting, you recommend this because of that. So kind of like fitting the right piece into the puzzle. The other part of that was incentivizing and making your customers or clients that are a part of your community feel welcomed, feel like they're a part of your movement. So like I mentioned a little while ago, people like to follow journey. People like to be involved in the evolution of business. People like to see even their favorite YouTuber. Think about someone that you watch, that you've been watching for years. People tend to like to see people's growth, their evolution, how far their business has come. And so if you include people in on that, having a newsletter is a great way to do that, letting people know what you're offering, what your business is doing, what you have going on next. I created a website in addition to my newsletter. So my website, keepingupwithbrittney.com, does just that. It lets you know what I'm doing, what I'm working on. It has all of my information, all of my links right there. On my website, it has my current videos, some of the videos that I think would be relevant for the week. It has different affiliate links that I promote. It has different options on getting started with your hair business, because I do offer drop shipping and wholesale for those interested in not only wearing extensions, but also selling extensions. I mean, everything that I offer and what I do is in a nutshell on that website. And so that people that really want to follow up with me and keep up with what I'm doing, they can follow me there. My blog is there, and letting people feel like they're connected is also a way to boost repeat orders. When you're thinking about selling anything, when you're only thinking about pricing, you're only thinking about how fast you can sell something, and you're not really thinking about building a long-lasting relationship and like a community, then I feel like your mind is more geared toward just getting that order. And although a lot of people talk about orders, I don't talk about just the number aspect of how many orders you can get, but I like to talk about the value that you're actually adding to your business. Of course, when you get an order, you're adding monetary value, I hope, because some people have their pricing off where it really doesn't move their business forward in a monetary aspect. And that's one of the reasons why I say I'm not a strictly numbers person. When you're only focused on pricing, you're only focused on how can you sell the fastest, that doesn't mean that you're going to have longevity in business. There are businesses that sell a lot their first year and don't do well their second year. There are businesses that have sold out of their inventory the first round, and after the buzz went out with their product, they filed bankruptcy, or they went out of business. I'm talking about larger corporations. So this can happen to any business. So having the right mindset is important, no matter what size business you have. Your initial concern should not just be, how fast can I sell a product? How fast can I make money? But it's ultimately, how can I leave a lasting impression on this customer client? How can I make sure that I continuously show up? How can I make sure that I'm available, that I'm setting the right expectations? How can I make sure that I'm providing value? And in order to know that you're providing value, you have to understand what value is to them. Doing different polls and surveys is also a good way to kind of gauge what your customers and clients are liking versus what they would like to see more of. Now, the second tip that I'm going to go over is reach out and maintain relationships. So if you've been following this channel, for a few videos, I've been explaining how actually it was my last vlog, I believe, where I explained that I shipped out a package to one of my customers that have been a longtime customer for the last maybe 5 years, if not longer. And I've never had an issue really with orders with her. I mean, she's always communicated with me if she didn't like something or if she wanted an order shipped faster, or asked me if I could have the hair delivered without a signature or with a signature. But we've always had really good communication, never really had any issues, and she continued to support me. And so I recently shipped her out an order, and it wasn't any fault of hers nor myself, honestly. I packaged her order, shipped it out, and the post office lost the package. And I clearly have on my website no refunds. She didn't ask for a refund, but when she did reach out and say she didn't get her order, I was concerned. We filed a case, and she went ahead and ordered another set of bundles. She didn't ask for a refund or anything. She said, hey, let the post office do their due diligence, find the package. I'll keep it once they find it, and then I'll go ahead and purchase another bundle, a set of bundles from you. So she did that. And it ended up taking a long time. Like, to this day, the post office still doesn't know where that package is. So I offered a refund, and she took the refund, and that was fine. But one of the reasons that I did offer a refund was because of the relationship that we built. Now, when you are in business, you can have a policy that says no refunds, but there are going to be some times that you may have to look at your policy, and there may be some people that don't fit into the policy that you have. Meaning, you may say, hey, I don't do expedited shipping, but based on maybe an error on your behalf or an error on the post office behalf, if that's the shipping carrier that you're using, you may see fit to actually do an expedited shipping order. So it's all case by case ultimately, but you still want to have a general policy on your website for what goes most often. But because, like I said, the relationship we've had, because of the scenario, I was okay with issuing a refund. And I did that. And part of that is keeping the relationship open. She let me know that she really appreciated it. She let me know that she's going to continue to support, and I completely believe her. And so you want to make sure when you are working with all of your customers and clients that you are doing so in a way that is not just going to benefit your business, but also going to let them know that you all have a relationship, that you all are working together, that they can trust you, that if they have a concern, you're going to go above and beyond to resolve it. When she reached out to me around 10 or 11 p.m. via email, and I immediately responded back to her. Now, typically I don't do that, but again, this is a client that I've worked with for 5+ years. And so I wanted to make sure that anything she had questions with or any issues, I was right there to resolve it. Not saying that I don't do the same for my customers that purchase one time, but I am going to say that I do have a more urgency behind working with customers and clients that have been working with my business for the last 5 years. They do get more of a quicker response sometimes. They do get more options sometimes, just based on the level of commitment and relationship that we have. And so it's important to note that the relationship that you have in business is very important. People feeling like they're valued is very important. I personally, as a customer, as a consumer, I'll go to a place where I feel like I'm going to get respected and treated well, even if their work isn't as good as another place that treats me rude. Okay, and I've had that experience going to different nail shops. I will gladly take my money to a nail shop that is all right, if I need to get my nails done like that day, versus a nail shop where I know I'm going to wait all day. I know they're not going to even apologize for having me wait. I know they're going to be rude and snappy while they're doing my nails. I know it's going to be an unpleasant experience, but I know they're going to do my nails good. There are some people that will still go. It's not me. So just keep in mind that people really do value how well you treat them, and they do value the relationships that you've built. I'm trying to get back into my iPad with my notes. Okay. The third point that I have is show concern and prompt resolution. So like I just mentioned, I could have waited until the next morning to reply back. I don't really think that my customer would have been upset. I don't think that she would have never worked with me again if I would have waited until the next morning. But the fact that I did not wait and that I did respond back, it's just even better. It adds to that experience. When people are purchasing with you, even if you have an online business, because a lot of people that work via e-commerce online feel like, and I'm saying this just based on different people that I've spoken to, running e-commerce businesses, some people feel like their business isn't really a legitimate, real business because it's online. And so they don't show up as they would if they had a brick and mortar location. Like the next time that you're talking to one of your friends or family members that have a brick and mortar location, or talking to someone that has, just the website that they run, ask them, like, actually ask the ones that just have the website. Ask them, would you put as much energy or more energy into your business if you had a brick and mortar location? And a lot of people will say, from my experience, I'll put more energy if I actually had a physical place. Like, I have to be there. Well, you have to be there for your online business too, not in the same sense where you have to be present in a physical location, but you still want to be there with providing prompt service. And if it's not, and again, I want to say this too, prompt does not mean that it has to be like that same moment. If you set the right expectation on your website where your response is 2 to 3 business days and you stay within that time frame, you're doing good, okay? But if you don't have the expectation and someone's expecting that you're going to contact them back in an hour or the next day and you don't, that's going to sever that relationship, and that's going to have people, it could possibly sever that relationship. I don't want to say it is, because everyone's different, every scenario is different, right? But you have a higher probability of that relationship not being as strong as it could have if you would have showed up more promptly and if you had the right expectations. You'll be amazed how many people have come to me to drop ship hair because they said that the other vendor they were working with had different options. They had a more variety of hair textures that they could drop ship, but they never could get their questions answered. Anytime they send an email, it would take maybe 2 to 3 weeks to get back to them. You'll be surprised how many people switched their hair vendors because they couldn't get in touch with their hair vendors to even place another order or to ask a question or to get resolution on an issue they received after they ordered. Communication is big. So if you're looking at increasing your repeat customer rate, then make sure that you are treating people promptly and with your most efficient service, okay? And just because you're an e-commerce website does not mean that you don't have to show up and that you don't have to be prompt and professional, just as you would if you had a brick and mortar location. It doesn't mean that. Take that from someone that had both, and both require you to actually show up in different ways, some the same, but yeah, you still need to show up, and you still need to show concern. Make their problem your problem, okay? If I would have just responded back to that email and said, hey, tough luck, I'm sorry you didn't get your package from the post office, go ahead and file a claim. And I didn't file the claim for her, I didn't follow back up with her, how would she have felt? Now, technically, did I do anything wrong? Not technically, but morally, relationship-wise, as far as building repeat clients retention, yeah, I did wrong because I could have made that experience a lot more seamless for her, and I could have shown my concern by getting involved in helping, okay? Not saying that you're not concerned if you don't help. Like I said, every scenario is a case by case. So there have been some people that have reached out and I've shipped their order and the order says delivered, but they said they didn't get it. Like their neighbor took it, or maybe someone in the house took it. That's a different scenario. And a lot of times when that happens, they're customers that have ordered the first time. So you want to make sure that you are still showing up for even customers that ordered the first time, because in order to become a repeat customer, you have to order that first time, right? But again, that your relationship is going to be different with someone that you just, that placed an order one time versus someone that ordered 50 times and that you've worked with. You're going to treat everyone right. You're going to make sure you have good customer service with everyone, but you want to make sure that you are, I don't want to say it's tricky, but you have to be thinking future based, like future minded. Okay, not just what I'm doing today, is it going to help me today, but what's going to make my customers and clients feel like they're appreciated. So even in circumstances like that, where I didn't issue a refund because I'm like, hey, it says it was delivered, I wasn't there to see, and knowing, not everyone's always honest, but not everyone's lying either. Still being there at the process, still answering questions, still being available if they reach out, even if you feel like, hey, there's nothing I can do. Don't ghost your clients, okay? I've had people that have had issues with the post office when they ordered, and they still have placed orders with me based on the fact that I was there to answer questions. I was there when they asked questions, and they were able to contact me. I get a lot of orders just because I'm available, just because you can reach me. The next point that I have is continue showing up where your existing clients or customers came from and where they are. So what happened is a lot of people will try to be so many places at once, even on social media. They're like, you know, I'm on every single social media platform, and there's nothing wrong with being on multiple platforms. I actually recommend that. But when you start to get clients off of like Facebook, and then you're like, okay, I'm good with Facebook, I'm going to move over to Instagram. You want to make sure that you're still going over there. Now, you don't have to go over there as much as you did before, but you still want to make sure that you're present. You still want to make sure that your existing customers that saw you on Facebook, that are on Facebook, still are able to see you, still are able to interact. Even if it's you getting on there and saying, hey, everyone, be sure to tune in to me or my Instagram tonight at 9. I'll be going live talking about my new products. You want to make sure that you don't forget the platform that a lot of your existing clients and customers have come from. And then the last point that I have, I'm trying to read my note here. Okay, have a reason to why people want to keep coming back. So ask yourself this: why would someone want to purchase again for my business? What do I have? What is it about my brand? What is it about my service? What is it about me that will have someone wanting to come back and purchase again? Okay, how was the experience when they purchase? And when I'm talking about experience, and I'm talking about like an e-commerce type of experience, for an example, some of the questions you can ask yourself are: how easy is my website to navigate? How easy were they able to find what they were looking for? Do I have a lot of typos? Are they able to easily read the descriptions? Are my descriptions descriptive enough without putting too much information to the point that it's like information overload and it's just way too much on my website? It doesn't even look clean anymore. Do I have the right expectations on my website? Are my policies up to date? And if you're asking yourself, well, how would I know that? Taking surveys with your customers, having a chat option on the side of your website is very helpful. Shopify is the e-commerce platform that I use for my hair website, and you can tell when you have a live visitor. And you can also install a chat. So you can be right there available or have the chat on your phone in case your customers or clients have questions. And you can be there to chat back if they do have, questions. Now, I do want to caution you all, don't get too wrapped up where it's like you can't do anything else throughout the day but respond to chats, because I've been there. You do want to make sure that you're organizing your time, and that's where setting the right expectation comes into play. So maybe having a time frame to when your chat hours of availability are, and having that on your website. But a lot of times customers will reach out, like if they can't find your refund policy, if they can't find your shipping time frame, they'll reach out and they'll ask. And if you start getting a lot of questions asking the same thing, then you may want to say, hey, I do have this on my website, but maybe no one's able to see it. Maybe I need to change this. Or people are reaching out saying, hey, I'm trying to purchase. I can't find out how to check out. Like, I've added it to my cart and I just don't know what to do at this point. It's not really clear. You want to make sure that you go back and kind of walk through the checkout process to make sure that it is seamless and efficient for them. So the customer's experiences is also a big part in making someone want to come back or not. And that's one reason why I say don't focus just on the price. Don't focus just on how cheap you can be, because it's more in a lot of different circumstances when people are looking at purchasing, especially something that is in a luxury type of bracket, or in like a beauty type of bracket where you're not providing necessities. A lot of people aren't looking for the cheapest. Now, they may be looking for a good deal, but everyone has their different definition of what a good deal is. Hey, Vivi. Okay, my baby just woke up. So luckily, I'm toward the end of this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.